Hello everybody, and today I'm coming to you from my picking line. Look at that, woo! And my camera is sat on an old bit of wood, so it's not fancy. But I just want to tell Zach, this is a lot bigger picking line than yours. I'm only joking. My mate's just had a picking line put in for about 3 million quid or something. So, but mine's longer. But I made this myself, so I can't take any. Definitely not as good as his, but I know that'll wind him up a bit. So, right. I have had a private message off a young lady who runs a skip company with her partner in this country, along with many other people, asking me what I am going to do about waste prices this year and how I intend to save money and continue against the big boys. And I feel a bit obliged to do this video because people sometimes look to me for an answer to some questions and, different things like that. And I don't always have all the answers, but I will certainly try and, discuss with you what we're doing, okay? So this is my picking line that we sat on. We haven't used it for a long time because we had a hole over on one of the roofs, and the building needs 3 sides. So the Environment Agency had said to us, can we make some adjustments to it? And at the time, we just thought, I'm not going to bother. We just thought, we're not going to bother. We'll just shut it down, pick all the stuff off the floor, which was all right at the time, We were getting rid of our waste quite handy, and there was, my mate was reprocessing it for us at his place, so it worked out all right. So he did it for us, but now, obviously, prices are going so high, we've had to do something. So we're doing loads of alterations to the picking line down below, ground level, making full sides around it, and we're going to reclad above the trommel. I'm not going to go into the yard because it's just too noisy, too dirty, too stinky. Fuck, I hate rubbish. In the waste industry, but rubbish does me head in. I'm in it all day, so if I stay away from it for 5 minutes, it's nice. I think that's why I like doing these videos. Right, so this year, as you all know, I'll get fucking scrapyard next door. I've done this video 3 times. You can't hear now because of the noise from the scrapyard. It shakes this full picking line. Right, let's have another go. Right, so this year, what am I doing with the prices? That will lead on to something else what I'm going to discuss, right? So, general waste, we are at the minute 160 quid, we're going to go to 168. Wood, we're about 60 quid now, we're going to go to 65. Soil and hardcore, we're about 20 quid now, we're going to go to 27. Soil and hardcore is cheap to get rid of, but there's a lot of transport, it's heavy, innit? Mattresses are tenner. Fridges and freezers, 35 and 50 quid. And you might think you're not allowed to take freezers, but I'm just going to discuss that with you. And sofas, chairs and stuff like that, 30 quid. Right, as it stands now, with the fridge and freezers and the sofas and stuff, everybody's real scared about it, right? The Environment Agency, yeah, they're hammering everybody because I don't know why they're doing it. I don't know if it's financial or whatever it is. They're looking at all these small companies, and I don't know, so don't kill me, don't shoot me, but it might be just because we're easy target, innit? We're easy fruit, if you like. Stick a few points on you a few times and your permit can go up double or whatever. That could be the reason. I don't know if it is, but it could be. And all this will lead on to something in a minute, right? So we're going to put all them prices up there. Regarding fridges and freezers, I know, right, let's say it straight. The Environment Agency come to your site, where's your fridge and freezers, where's your, sofas and mattresses and all the other stuff, pops and everything. We don't get any. I speak to people all day long and I say, what do you do? We don't get any, right? Well, I can tell you, we run a transfer station and we do get some. And, people put fridges and freezers in the bottom of the skip, cover it over or whatever, and all that sort of stuff, and, sofas and cover it over. You're not going to take that sofa back to a building site or to an house. It is not always possible. If somebody's hired a skip from out of town, how are you going to take a bloody sofa back and get it inside the house? You would get done for fly tipping. So it's not realistic. The Environment Agency aren't stupid. You're not stupid, so don't act stupid. What you can do is you can charge people for it. So you can say to people, look, right, you've put a fridge in the bottom of the skip. I told you not to. It's on the transfer note, don't. So you've got to get your lads to take it out of there, put it into some sort of container that's secure. As long as it's not in your transfer station and stuff and it's somewhere secure and you get rid of it and you do the proper paperwork, it's not a massive issue. We're not talking about somebody washing empty, drums of oil down a drain. We're talking about a fridge freezer that is in every single person's house. The Environment Agency are sensible and stuff like that, so you don't need to make a big deal of it. You can just put things in place to charge for what, for what you're doing. Again, with the sofas and chairs, you don't want them, absolutely, we don't want them. But if people do put them in a skip and you tell them not to and they cover it over or whatever they're doing, you can't always see it in a big skip. You just need to have an outlet for it to go. We've secured one, which is, they send it for power production in Holland. It's brilliant. It's another revenue income, that you can get from the waste that you're already getting. We're going to start charging for tyres. We get the odd tyre. My friend has a tyre business. He gets the odd tyre, we get the odd tyre and he takes them off us, but we're going to make it where people are going to have to pay properly for it. And this is the thing. On a daily basis, you will do a lot of work in the skip industry that you don't get paid for. And, as you get bigger and you grow and you grow and you grow, you get less and less efficient, and that is the problem. You're always getting bit. My mate says this all the time. Who has a quarry. He said when we was little, there was 5 of us here. All he used to do was sell sand, and that was it. He said we used to have very little running cost. We was very efficient, and all that lot. And you get bigger, 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 and before you know it, you are blowing money out your ass. You've got people damaging stuff all over. That's the waste industry. People damage stuff, and that is exactly what he said to me all them years ago. Right, so if people bring stuff into this yard from now on, they're going to have to pay for it, and that's it. We don't want to kick the arse out of people and put the prices up on the waste and stuff. Landfill tax has gone up to 125 quid or whatever. So basically, we need at least that, plus, an extra 30, 40 quid or whatever to make some money and to transport it. And even though we don't take a lot of material to landfill, we don't take anything to landfill. The landfill price dictates the full market. So what happens is the people who own an incinerator, they will say, right, well, if landfill tax is 120, we need 120. Because when you go to landfill, if the price is 150, what you won't realise is the landfill will only get 30 quid of that, because 110 is the tax, 30 quid is to engineer the new cells, cover the cells, pay for clay. I mean, some of them landfills can need 500,000 tonne of clay to go on the inside of it. Ridiculous amounts of infrastructure that goes into them. It's scary. I've been to a lot of landfills, as a kid with my dad in his lorry. Some of them are colossal. They are absolutely mental. Right, so skip prices. We're basically going up 25 quid on everything. So an 8-yarder is going to be nearly 300 quid. Which, is massively. When we first started skips, I remember that they used to be under 100 with the VAT. When we first started 30 years ago, there was, a 4-yarder was like 50 quid. I think it was I think we used to charge like 15 quid a yard. So 30 quid for a 2, and so on, so on, so on. I'm sure that's what it was, but I'm going back years and years. But like I say, we are going to be going up, we've got a price list here. This is to be given out to all the customers. And what I would tell you to do is, because I know people are worried, minimum wage is going to go up to, by the time you pay your national insurance contribution, you pay your holiday pay. Let me move this over here for a minute. By the time you pay all that stuff, you are going to be in the region, I would have thought, of £16, £16 a tonne, which is scary. It's not a very good position for sitting doing a video, this, is it? But I just thought it'd be good. And plus, the guys have left the lights on the picking line and we're working on it, so I wanted to come and have a look. I thought it'd be, because I very rarely show people this stuff. But like I say, it's going to be 15, 16 quid an hour. And what I would say to you is, you've got to be more efficient. What we're doing in the yard this month is we are tidying all behind this picking station, and we're building higher walls, deeper walls and wider walls. So basically we can unload it with a bigger machine and also have it completely covered like the Environment Agency want us to do. I don't know if this is actually... would be any problem with the Environment Agency. My old officer, she had a problem with it. The one before it didn't have a problem with it. So sometimes, it's open to interpretation on the officer that you have. As you'll know, some officers come and they're like, yeah, everything's fine, and the next officer will come and it's exactly the same, but they will have a little thing where they go on about drainage, or they will go on about, I don't know, guttering, whatever. There's something that they don't like, and they're very keen on that particular thing. But like I say, we are getting ourselves more efficient. Skips have got to be another 20, 30 quid, and that is how it is. The only way you can, me and you, we're at the bottom of the pile, as I like to see it. We're at the bottom of the thing, and we're always sort of like begging people, can we do some waste? Can we take this? Can you do that? And all that sort of stuff. And unless you're going to win the lottery tomorrow and buy yourself a landfill, you know, and then you'll be, you know, you're always at the mercy of somebody else. So you've got to look in-house and be more efficient, because, you know, a day's not going to come where the old tips of olden days, you know, where nobody cared and whatever. You know, I'm going back before there was even such a thing as landfill tax. Like, you know, you could just, you know, it was a lot easier job to do than it is now. You know, and all our waste gets exported abroad. And, you know, I'm reading a book at the minute called Waste Wars. I would advise you to not read it, because it'll just piss you off. The first chapter in it is that a guy makes orange juice in Turkey. They've sent the orange to England. The packages are then returned, bailed. PRNs are claimed on it, on this bottle packaging, plastic, whatever it was. And then PRNs are claimed, and then it is set fire to in Turkey. So it's an annoying book for somebody in the waste industry who would like to have an even playing field. And it leads me on to something else, this. But before we go on to that thing, just be efficient. Get in your yard. You've all got a yard. I know the drill, right? Sit in the machine, whichever machine you've got. It might be a Bobcat, whatever it is you've got. Sit back and just watch the yard. Just watch the yard and just see what's going on, and look at things where you can save money to get the running costs down, to be more efficient. You know, that's the key. Be more efficient. Sometimes you can, over time, get, you know, worse and worse and worse at doing the actual job you do, because we all get lazy, right? And that's we're all guilty of that. But, you know, if there's a job you can do with two good lads, you know, skip companies are notorious for people not turning up to work. I mean, when we run this picking line, we can have, I think, 17 or 18 people on it. You know, on a good day, you get 8. You know, that's just the skip industry. It needs a certain type of person, and unfortunately, most of them are, you know, unreliable. It's just the nature of the job. It's a crappy, horrible job. I mean, you know, this is what you're dealing with. Do you know what I mean? You're just dealing with rubbish all day. That's all. You know, all we're dealing with is rubbish and nappies and stinky stuff. You know, and these people, like, they stand outside landfills and, yeah, I don't want a landfill. They forget, don't they, that me and you and these people, we're the ones who sort this shit out. And when a regulator makes a decision, sat in an office somewhere, that decision can echo. Hey, look, there's something for you. Look, there's a pigeon on the roof, look. Where is he? Yeah, there he is, look. So if you know, these people can make a decision, and it can affect us all massively. And if you've got a skip company, you will know that you have operational issues. I've got a machine broken down today, and it is in the middle of the yard. It's a loading shovel, and the handbrake is jammed on. The boys are doing it now, but things happen. So I've had an idea. I was sat there the other night, and my environment issue officer said that they're making some changes to permits and stuff, and I had absolutely no idea about it. They said that we'd had some letters sent out. I ain't got them letters. The only letter I get is about direct debit, so I don't know if I'd been missed or, you know, things happen. But the Environment Agency do want to work with us. And, you know, if you get a decent officer who you can speak to, they don't always go in for your throat straight away and, you know, get us little companies. And I was thinking, why don't we all, me and you, because you probably all want an even playing field. You don't want your success to be based on owning a tip or you know, you want it to be half even, don't you? Where we're all getting a fair job and a fair price, and you know. So why don't we all make a group or a forum, if you like, where people in the waste industry can go. And if there is a consultation that affects us people that do this, to sort out construction, demolition, waste, and you know, that sort of stuff, not Biffa, Veolia, not the nationals, because they're the ones who get the biggest voice, and probably as a whole do very little waste if they're compared to all of us. You know, so they might have a branch in every town in England, they might have 100 branches, but in every town there might be 50 skip companies or 40 skip companies, and Biffa's just one, and Biffa gets the voice. And this is not about Biffa, but this is just about us all having a collective voice and being able to get our opinion across. And we probably all agree with a lot of the things the Environment Agency say and the regulators, you know, like illegal sites and, you know, things not being an even playing field. And you can have a voice. You know, these, obviously the waste exemptions are getting taken away soon, and if you're like me, your wood will be stored outside, your wood and pallets and stuff will be outside on an exemption, and they're going to take that exemption away. That will grind the waste economy to a halt if you was getting breached every time they came out. So so with our voice together, we can make positive changes and how do you put it? Make it where we are rewarded based on the service we give the customer and how well we do the job, not based on the fact of how dodgy we are, right? That'd be nice, wouldn't it? And how, listen, we all know, I'm not going to go into any detail because I'll turn up in a river somewhere, but, it would be nice for us all to have an even playing field where we are all rewarded in the right way. And another thing, regards to when you see these people who get a fine for something, it can be anything, something happens. If your company's massive, right, the fine might be 2,000 quid or 3,000 or 5,000. If your company's small, the fine might also be 50,000. To me, 50,000, that'll be the end of the job. To a big company, it's no more than he spends on dinners in 12-month period. Things like that, we could all have a collective voice. I think it'd be really good. Like a union, if you like. Because the ones that there is now, which I've spoke about in the past, like the associations, you have to pay for them all. Well, why should you pay for a voice to be in the club that you're already in? Anyway, let that be a bit of food for thought. And if you do fancy me doing something like that and us joining, it will be completely free of charge. And it'll be good for us all to get together. Turn that off. And the size of your company should not determine the amount of money you can make. It should be, like I say, merit-based. If you are all feeling scared this year, don't be, because we've all got to put the prices up. We've all got to live with it. And if things don't go, if we don't all do it, we will all suffer. You'll always get a little company who comes and is 50 quid cheaper. Let them do it. Let them crack on. Don't let it affect you. Nobody can do every skip, and who would want to anyway? Right, I hope that addresses it. And the lady that messaged me on Facebook who sent me a real long message, just so you know, this video is for you. So I haven't ignored you. I've had a few people message me, but her email was very long, very detailed. What do you think? What do you think? And unfortunately, the only answer I have got for you right now is to be more efficient, because we can't get any more money out of the things we're doing. If you're already struggling, go in the yard, get more efficient. Put your price up to what suits you, suits your customers, and as high as you dare push it so you can make a living. And now is not going to be the bad time because we're at the beginning of the year. Save your money for November till February, when it is like suicidal time. Do you know what I mean? And that's it. That's all that's the only thing I can help you with. There's not a lot else I can do, and there's not a lot. I am in the same boat as you all. We're all in the same situation, and we just can hope our government will sort it out in some way, shape or form. Can't see it happening. But anyway, see you all soon. I hope you enjoyed the video. And like I say, that lady who sent me that video, I listen to what everybody says to me, and this is for you. Bye.